Tinubu swears in Amopitan as new INEC chair, urges electoral integrity. Court grants Nnamdi Kanu's request to summon Wike, Bratai orders as witnesses in terror trial. Police authorities say Sowore's arrest to ensure fairness in prosecution of Free Nnamdi Kanu Now protesters. And on the foreign scene, drone kills 2 Ukrainian journalists on Donetsk's eastern front line. Hello, good evening and welcome to News Update on Trust TV. I am Fatima Ahmed Musa. Thank you so much for joining us. Now we'll begin with development on politics, where President Bola Tinubu has sworn in Professor Josh Amopitan as the new chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Professor Amopitan took the oath of the office at about 1:50 p.m. on Thursday at the council chamber of the presidential villa, Abuja. His swearing in brings to end debate that had been stirred up after the National Council of State endorses his nomination 2 weeks ago. One of the challenges laid before him by President Tinubu was the need to protect the integrity of Nigeria's elections and electoral process. The new INEC chairman is consistent about his vision for the electoral umpire, saying his focus will be on strengthening the provision of the Electoral Act to address inconsistencies in elections timelines and promote credibility in the process.
It's been a rocky 2 weeks for Professor Josh Amopitan, who until he was thrown into the limelight was Deputy Vice-Chancellor at the University of Jos. In those 2 weeks, his life had been put under the microscope with all sorts of conspiracy theories about how his appointment would undermine the electoral process. The new INEC chairman withstood the attacks with grace and was confirmed by the Senate following a rigorous screening session on October 16. On Thursday morning, the new INEC chairman arrived at State House, Abuja, dressed in a white agbada paired with a gold cap. Ironically, one of the challenges laid before him by President Tinubu was the need to protect the integrity of Nigeria's elections and electoral process.
Your nomination for the important role and the subsequent confirmation by the Senate is a testament to your capacity and the confidence reposed in you by both the executive and the legislative arm of government. The significant achievement marks the beginning of a challenging yet rewarding journey, and I trust that you will approach your responsibilities with the highest level of integrity, dedication, and patriotism.
Professor Amopitan is consistent about his vision for INEC. He says his focus will be on strengthening the provisions of the Electoral Act to address inconsistencies in election timelines and promote credibility in the process.
Okay, as we are aware, I've just taken the oath of allegiance and also the oath as the chairman of Independent National Electoral Commission. So I will reaffirm what I have just taken, that I'm going to defend the Constitution and the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as far as it relates to the electoral system. And like the president said, I was given a clear charge to ensure credible, fair and free election. Not just that I will ensure that that is done, I'm also going to engage all the stakeholders, because no matter how you set the barometer and the level of success, you still need all the stakeholders.
Amopitan succeeds Professor Mahmood Yakubu, whose tenure as INEC chairman officially ended recently. He thus becomes the 6th substantive head of the electoral body since its establishment. He is expected to take over immediately after his swearing in and begin the transition process at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja. From State House, Abuja, Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
And now to legal matters. Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court, Abuja, has disclosed that witness summons requested by Nnamdi Kanu to be issued against the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, and 22 others to give evidence in his terrorism trial have been signed and are ready for dispatch to the listed witnesses. Others whose summons have been signed and ready for delivery are Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and two former Chief of Staff, Army Staff, General T.Y. Danjuma and Tukur Buratai. They are part of notable Nigerians listed by Kanu to be compelled by the judge to appear in court to give evidence in the terrorism charges slammed against him by the federal government since 2015. The Justice Omotosho announced in the open court on Thursday that he had given effect to Kanu's request, signed the witness summons, and that they are available for him to collect and serve on the said witnesses as requested. The judge directed Kanu to pick up the witness summons and serve them individually as required by law to ensure quick response of the witnesses. Meanwhile, a former Attorney General of the Federation and lead counsel to the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu Agabi, on Thursday appealed to withdraw his representation in the ongoing terrorism trial before the Federal High Court in Abuja. Kanu is facing trial on 7-count charge bordering on terrorism filed against him by the federal government. When the matter was called on Thursday, Agabi informed the court that he would no longer be representing the IPOB leader, adding that the defendant had decided to take back the case from them. In the same manner, all the senior advocates of Nigeria involved in the matter case also announced their withdrawal from the case. Kanu, confirming the development, told the court that he will be representing himself for now, but noting that the position might change later. The trial judge, Justice James Omotosho, asked whether he should assign a lawyer to represent him, but the defendant, Kanu, declined. Meanwhile, addressing the court orally, Kanu argued that the court lacked the jurisdiction to try him.
Number of us has decided to conduct his defense by himself. He has a right to do so. We respect that decision. We wish him well going forward.
Now, the Nigeria Police Force on Thursday explained why activist politician Omoyele Sowore was arrested. Force Public Relations Officer Benjamin Hundeyin said Sowore's arrest was to ensure fairness in prosecution of those involved in Monday's Free Nnamdi Kanu Now protest in Abuja. Hundeyin disclosed this while addressing journalists in Abuja. He assured that Sowore will not be detained beyond the legally stipulated period, adding that he will be arraigned.
I'm recording me.
Put that phone down.
This is my younger brother now. What are you upset about?
Put that phone down.
So you said the commissioner of police said you should arrest me?
Yes, we are not
over what?
To bring you to the office.
By force?
Is it by force? I'm not holding you.
No, you said that. So why you then have? So we didn't bring a letter of invitation now. That's not your business. When did you start telling people?
Today, Sowore has been arrested by the Nigeria Police Force. And you would ask, why was he arrested? It is very simple. The 13 people that were arrested previously all gave their statements, and there is a constant in all of their statements. Every one of them mentions that one Omoyele Sowore led them into a restricted area in contravention of the court order. So it would be most unfair to charge some people to court and leave the person that led them to commit that more like their leader, the lead protester who told them and took them into the restricted area. And that's why the spirit of fair play and to ensure that justice is served
Now, the Nigeria Police Force has arrested 9 suspects and dismantled several gun-running and arms supply syndicates operating across Nasarawa, Plateau, Kaduna, and Taraba State in the past month. Force Public Relations Officer CSP Benjamin Hundeyin disclosed this on Thursday in Abuja, noting that the operations led to the recovery of a large cache of firearms and ammunition. Recovered items include 7 AK-47 rifles, 2 AK-49 rifles, 5 pump-action rifles, 15 magazines, 1 locally fabricated AK-47 rifle, and 1 short rifle. Others are 1 locally made pistol, 1 axe, 6 machetes, 615 rounds of live ammunition of various calibers, and 14 expended cartridges. According to Hundeyin, operatives of the Intelligence Response Team, IRT, arrested the suspects following credible intelligence. Now, the House of Representatives has expressed deep concern over the growing presence of unidentified and ununiformed security personnel at checkpoints across the southeast, south-south regions of the country, warning that the situation poses a grave national security risk and undermines public trust. Raising the motion as a matter of urgent public importance, Rep. Ibe Okwara Osonwa drew attention to the unprecedented rate of security officers, particularly from the Nigeria Police Force and the Nigeria Security Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, manning roadblocks and conducting stop and search operations in plain clothes, jeans, or incomplete uniform, often without name tags or identifiable ranks. The lawmaker noted that such practices contravene the Nigeria Police Act 2020 and established operational guidelines which mandate proper uniform adherence and visible identification for accountability and transparency in policing. Following deliberations, the House mandated the Inspector General of Police and the Commandant General of the NSCDC to immediately enforce existing laws requiring all officers on checkpoints, patrols, and stop and search duties to appear in full uniform with visible names, ranks, and identification tags. Now, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, says investigation into the alleged corruption of a former governor of Delta State, Ifeanyi Okowa, still remains active, debunking the allegation that he is being shielded because he defected to the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. The anti-graft agency said justice will be served on his case, emphasizing that no suspect enjoys immunity from investigation or prosecution because of political alignment. The chairman of the EFCC, Ola Olukoyede, made this clarification during a press briefing which held at the headquarters of the commission to commemorate his 2nd anniversary in office. Okowa had in November 2024 been arrested by anti-graft agency over the alleged diversion of 1.3 trillion in oil derivation funds. The former governor and his successor, Sheriff Oboreviri, defected from the People's Democratic Party to the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, in April 2025. After their defection, some Nigerians, both online and offline, accused the commission of shielding the former governor because of his alliance with the government at the center. Now, the federal government has released 32.9 billion to strengthen primary health care delivery across Nigeria and under revised framework for the Basic Health Care Provision Fund, PHCPF. The Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Ali Pate, announced this during the 12th Ministerial Oversight Committee mock meeting of the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare in Abuja. At the event, which had representatives from state governments, WHO, UNICEF, the UK government's health team, and other partners, the government also unveiled the PHCPF 2.0 revised guideline to enhance accountability, transparency, and efficiency in healthcare funding at the grassroots.
The guideline, which has been launched now, will guide the distribution of the 32.9 billion naira to be disbursed before the end of October to all the states and the primary healthcare centers under the BHCPF. That essentially increases what the primary healthcare centers will get on a quarterly basis to help them with their recurrent cost, with stipend for the health workers, with the expectation that it will.
Now, members of the Rotary District 9127 have organized a mass immunization outreach aimed at improving public health awareness and strengthening community participation in vaccination programs. The outreach is part of the activities to mark this year's World Polio Day, established by Rotary International to commemorate the birth of Dr. Jonas Salk, who led the team that developed the first effective polio vaccine. Trust TV's Noah Sampson, who was at the outreach, now reports.
Although Nigeria was declared wide polio virus free in 2020, the country continues to record cases of circulating vaccine-derived polio virus type 2. Between January 2024 and March 2025, health authorities confirmed 122 CVDPV2 cases across 15 states, with 10 new cases recorded in 2025 alone. Experts say insecurity, though routine immunization coverage, and vaccine hesitancy remain major obstacles, particularly in northern states such as Kebbi, Sokoto, and Zamfara. It is against this backdrop that Rotary International continues to push for total eradication of the disease through sustained vaccine campaigns and advocacy.
We have promised all the children of the world that we will reach them, that we are going to stop polio across the world. And we have been doing this for over 40 years, and we are on it and will continue to do it. Until the last child is immunized or out of polio, we are still, our promise to the world has not been met. So it is on that note that we are meeting, we are campaigning, we are talking, we are seeking advocacy, we are going out to meet everybody, every mother, to ensure that the children are immunized. And that is why we are spending, Russia has spent over $2 billion on immunization across the world. We have spent over $300 million onto Nigeria as at January.
The Rotarians all over Nigeria especially have gone around, making sure that the health workers are mobilized, and you see them going around houses. Why? Just because we want to keep Nigeria off polio. And that is what we are really doing. That is why we're doing this sensitization since on Sunday, which is tomorrow, that is the main polio day. So that is why you say the investment is not for nothing. But the problem is because we still have two countries that are still having polio. This is Afghanistan and then Pakistan. And we all travel everywhere. So there's no how. That is why we cannot just rest. Because every child, we must protect every child across the globe, and then until it is zero. That is why. So this investment is very, very working. It's really working.
With many communities in northern Nigeria still battling vaccine resistance, health workers continue to play a crucial role in convincing parents to allow their children to be immunized.
Our staff do go more mobilization, village to village, to mobilize mothers concerning oral polio and what the side effects of polio is all about. So they encourage them to immunize their children, especially the polio vaccine and BCG vaccine and other vaccines that is available in the facility.
Beneficiaries at the outreach expressed appreciation for the initiative, noting that the exercise has increased their understanding of the importance of routine immunization.
It's the first time that I'm collecting it for him. So I'm actually happy that he collected because of disease that is around and some of the infection. Before I give birth, I've always seen some children collecting it, which I don't understand the reason why they've collected. But today I've understand and have experience of it.
I was a member through giving this vaccine, and I enjoy it for my children. My children enjoy the vaccine because they used to encourage us that we should be telling others when we are giving it, because these vaccines stop bone leg, it stop fever, it stop many things in their body. So I like it. That's why I'm collecting it for my children. I collected it all for my children.
Highlights of the events included the administration of polio vaccines to children and public enlightenment sessions for mothers on the need for complete immunization. Noel Sampson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Moving on. Residents of Akemfa community in the Yanagwa local government area of Bayelsa State have accused the Bayelsa State government, the Niger Delta Development Commission, and the Shell Petroleum Company of Nigeria of neglecting their community for over 2 decades. The residents made the allegation during a protest over an abandoned bridge project, which they said has become a death trap, claiming about 15 lives over the years. To report.
The protesters, carrying placards with various inscriptions, lamented the continued abandonment of the bridge construction project that connects part of Akemfa to other neighboring communities. They expressed concern that the near rainy season and flash flood worsened the situation, leading to more casualties, and called for the project to be urgently completed. Speaking during the protest, the paramount ruler of Akemfa community, Chief Obadiah John, criticized the state government for what he described as poor performance, saying the most celebrated achievement of the administration exists only on paper.
It's pathetic to say that people die here from 2012 till date. Every heavy flood took life. And today, several letters has been sent. Due process has been taken. Too many things have been put in place to make sure that everything is in order. Several Bayelsa State government and Akemfa community has met in government house, represented by the miracle deputy governor, Lawrence Erujakpo, and promise was made.
Other residents also expressed frustration over the abandoned project and the government's silence on their plight.
As we come block this road, every year now flood dam don't reach again. When the flood reach, now so our people they die for this our bridge. If you from Kaka flood dam, if you want follow Jada bridge, women they fall down from the Kaka to the Cassava. So we they die. So now with the flood time don't reach, so when school resume, time when school go resume don't reach, so our children they die. Our children they die. Oh, I beg government.
This bridge project began in 2010, which I if I can remember, 2010, and it's done by NDDC. But at the point they abandoned the bridge. But to cut the whole story short, I remember about 2 years ago, the MD of NDDC, Samuel Ogboko, came to government house and met with our miracle governor, His Excellency Senator Doyediri, which this bridge and Samagria Bridge, these are 2 abandoned bridges from NDDC, and it was handed over to the state government for completion, and the governor accepted these 2 projects that is going to complete the 2 projects.
When contacted, the Bayelsa State representative of the NDDC, Mr. Dimaru Deyabofa, admitted that the commission currently has over 1,000 abandoned projects across the region, adding that protest may not be the most effective way to address the issue. Meanwhile, efforts to reach the Bayelsa State government media handlers for comment were unsuccessful, as calls to their phones were not answered at the time of filing this report. The people of Akemfa say they will continue to demand government intervention until the long abandoned bridge is completed and their community is made safe again. Friday, Ebimobowe Peter, Trust TV News, Yanagwa.
Now on the foreign scene, a Russian drone has killed 2 Ukrainian journalists and wounded another in the eastern Ukrainian city of Kramatorsk, according to their outlet and the regional governor of the Donetsk region. Freedom Media, a state-funded news organization, said on Thursday that Olena Gramova, 43, and Yenjev Karmazin, 33, had been killed by a Russian Lancet drone while in their car at petrol station in the industrial city. Another reporter, Alexander Koleshev, was hospitalized after the attack. The Donetsk regional governor earlier announced details of the strike and posted images showing the charred remains of the journalist's car. Freedom Media said Gramova, a native of Yenakiv in the Donetsk region, had originally trained as a finance specialist but turned to journalism in 2014, the year when Russia annexed Ukraine's Crimean Peninsula and started aiming a separatist movement in Donetsk and Luhansk in the Donbass. Kramatorsk, which had a pre-war population of about 150,000 people, is one of the few remaining civilian hubs in the Donetsk region, still under Ukrainian control. And with that, we have come to the end of News Update on Trust TV. Do not forget to watch and catch us across all our social media platforms for more news, programs, and documentaries. I am Fatima Abed Musa. Thank you for watching.